Great. And we're going to go to the post game. If you want to stick around, feel free. Otherwise, we're just going to play the intro again and keep getting fucked up.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me, Ron. Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for your time, man.
See you.
Love
see
it.
you.
That's awesome.
Super cool, dude.
So Nostalgia Pit meets OSC with Ron's glory days. That is what we're talking about for this sort of recording, eh? Love that. Want to hear about 19-year-old Ron getting in trouble with the law?
Yeah, I wanted to get into a couple of the good old school party stories, but I didn't know how far Tim wanted me to go out with them.
Obviously, it's a faux pas to smoke, right? Did you guys have different names for weed? That was like PC that you wouldn't catch. We had the term. We had the term pizza. So like, oh, we're gonna get some pizza tonight, whatever. And if you're like, we're getting onions, we're getting an ounce because onion ounce. Like, so we had that. Like that was our like, yeah.
No,
we had.
Are we getting onions? Are we getting onions tonight? We're getting onions. Yeah, we're getting onions. Like, and we know we're getting an ounce tonight, or whatever. Like, no, I mean, our whole group of, I'm sure anyone who smoked probably picked up on it, but teachers,
but that's the
or whatever
thing.
we're talking about.
Do the job.
We had the thing in college where it was like if you're in class with somebody and you wanted to have them come over and hang out and smoke weed with you, it would be a conversation something like, "What are you doing tonight?" And then the other person would answer, "I'm doing the dishes. You want to come over?" Maybe like, "Yeah." That was the code. Everybody else.
That sounds more gay than smoking weed.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Do your dishes.
Like, I don't care.
Like, I'm gonna do your dishes, dirty boy.
And also, you're assuming that this was a conversation between two men or two women. It was always. It just kind of sounded like, "Do you want to come over?" I don't know, like orgy.
Until after like high school, I didn't smoke with girls. It just was like me and my boys thing. But like after high school, it was a general group of friends. But like high school, it was just me and my boys.
Oh, it was. I had all of the. It was me and there were a lot of women that would smoke in my house. But I also had the party house. You know what I mean?
You lived by yourself in high school. Not many people do that in high school. So. Yeah.
See, I was the guy that everybody knew who smoked, but they were still cool with me. So when people wanted to smoke for the first time, you'd go find Ron.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, like, yeah, come on, let's go. And then, so I got to deal with everybody who was super paranoid and terrified that everybody would know they'd gotten high that one time. So
I would only take the really cool. I would take a select few. I was one of like 4 people like that in my town, and I was like the cooler one, so to speak. But I essentially the only reason I was quote unquote cooler was because I was massively selective because I was dealing marijuana to minors in a state where it was illegal. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you know.
Like,
and I mean, clearly
only
it
the
worked
super
out,
cool kids I fucking trust. You guys can sell to those dickheads, but they're not.
I never got in trouble
here.
I never got caught.
You get in trouble selling to that peckerhead. He's out of my loop.
That's all I'm saying.
I think for me, I really realized it. Like when I transferred from Marquette to the University of St. Thomas, which is like right on in St. Paul, Minnesota, like right on the border of Minneapolis. There's a bunch of colleges there. There's so many rich kids going to school in that area that when I got to college my sophomore year, I realized the people who really had the good weed were the girls like from the rich suburbs who just were really like smoking weed since they were like sophomores and their parents had no idea. Sophomores in high school.
Yeah.
Like they're like 4 years into this game. Yeah. Like they've been dealing to their friends for a good 4 years.
And they get a super good deal because they're the weed guy is just losing his mind to let them, oh, yeah, you want a discount?
Oh, yeah, like when I finally got the smoking with the girls, I was like, you've been doing this since high school? Where the fuck were you when we were all doing this? Like, it was like it was a groundbreaking experience for me. I was like, holy shit, like, you do this too?
You're fucking slow. But we never did get Justin's top 5, though, did we? That's a thing we were doing like 10 months ago. So it was
a long time ago. It was a callback.
Yeah, it was that interview with Barrett. I did that in April of last year. We just stumbled onto that bit by accident, and I had to create an intro for it in post. So we've been doing it ever since.
I don't know if I talked about it then, but the only acceptable gravity bong is the glass Sobe bottle.
You did. That's where I'd never heard that was a thing. It's like, how do you cut a Sobe bottle?
You punch the hole in it. There's a little notch down at the bottom. You put a knife, like a nail or a screwdriver or something, and you just like bonk, just hit it with your fist, and
just pops off.
Pops.
I mean, to quote Dave Chappelle and Half Baked, weed smokers are very fucking inventive. Like, Jesus Christ, you guys, we would do anything to get high.
What's your best emergency MacGyver situation?
What?
Aluminum foil.
One?
Fruits, various fruit. Coconut, banana, orange, apple. I mean, like, it got to a point where we were just buying any kind of fruit we could and smoking out of it.
That's fair. Yeah,
I think fruits like low hanging. To pardon this pun, it's low hanging fruit because I think everyone has done it before. I've made a bowl out of aluminum foil.
Oh yeah,
I've never done the foil or the can.
Can. I was Michelangelo with a can. Just
has anyone ever done you can do toilet roll, but it's smaller, but the paper towel roll and put like a dryer sheet on the end and you blow through that to mask the smell.
But what did you guys have a name for that though? Clearly Justin had to describe it, so he doesn't have a name for it. Did you guys ever come up with something?
No, it was
bong silencer. No.
No.
Are you a podcaster and a total stoner? Are you sick of your friends yelling at you because your bong comes over the microphone and you're too high to remember to hit mute? Well, I got your solution. It's called Bong Silencer, man. You know in a movie when the guys put like a thing on the end of the gun and then it goes choo 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 instead of a bang? It's like that, but for a bong, man. Check it out. First, without Bong Silencer, you get this. And now with Bong Silencer, it sounds like this. See, you did hear nothing. Wait, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Bong Silencer, man.
I mean, it was just in college dorms at Western and sometimes at UW that it would do that. But yeah, it would be a toilet paper roll and they would dryer sheet at the end, rubber band, and stuff it full of dryer sheets.
Right. Yep. And then wet blankets under the door. Or just blanket or towels on the door.
Just towels, yeah. I mean, we didn't do the wet towel, but that probably would have been smart.
We end up coming up with two names for it. One of them, actually, it was constructed not of a paper towel tube, but it was the back of a notebook, the brown piece.
Yeah, I got you.
We rolled that up and duct taped it together. Only my buddy had drawn and written on it before I did it. And it was right when that Tupac Machiavelli album came out. So if you look, we still have old videos where we're holding this tube and across it, you can see Machiavelli written. So it was always, give me Machiavelli. And there was.
I like it. But that's just happened to be great timing though, or great spacing with that.
Right.
And he rolls it a different way. It's just paper.
Yeah. He wrote it right in the middle, like purple ink. I saved that thing floated around for a decade, but later, we just went with Country Meadows. It's like, I need Country Meadows. Let's fancy this up. We're smoking bongs in a unwindowed basement. This math don't jive.
I want your best hot boxing story, or I've got like 5 at least, but I want a hot boxing story because we don't do that anymore as adults. That's one thing that like we definitely don't do.
Well, I would go out and I've done it actually like it was New Year's Eve at like the in-laws' house. And my tradition was always at midnight, you smoked a joint, but I'm at the in-laws. So I'd December 31st have to go sit out in the car and fucking hotbox it. But no, my favorite was, as I'd mentioned earlier with the Machiavelli tube, smoking bongs in a basement ain't exactly the best way to do that, especially when you're living at home. So I had a 2-foot bong, but it was a 2-stage bong. So the bottom had
nice.
And then the rubber tubes that came up and bubbled through. And my buddy
like
really
a multiple percolator. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, right. But back in the 90s, so it was rubber tubes through it.
Rubber tubes, yeah.
Yeah, in this red acrylic thing. We called it the weed eater because it just chewed up weed. But couldn't smoke it at the house.
And now, the Half-Assed Podcast proudly presents Statute of Limitations Theater,
featuring a story 25 years in the making. So me and a buddy of mine took my Ford Escort out to a cornfield on the edge of town and pulled a couple feet off the road into the cornfield, and we just sat there smoking these bongs. And after a little while, we saw, cars would go by. You'd see the taillights. We saw one hammer on the brakes and back up. We're like, oh shit, somebody saw us out in this field. So we had to start the car and just top speed barrel through this cornfield with no headlights on. I'm like running a slalom course down this field road, try to get to the other side because we knew who owned the farm there. Tear through the thing, up into their house, fucking up through the driveway, out on the road, kick the lights on and swing back into town. Like, have no idea if that was a cop or not, but we were not chancing it. It was fucking get the fuck out of there. Hot boxing
Speaking of Tupac, I'm watching Tupac right now on Nothing But Trouble.
Oh shit! Yes, I always wanted to play that song at my wedding. Digital Underground does the wedding march.
Yes,
with Humpty.
Hell yeah! All around the road, the same song. All around the world, same song.
Tupac's
all around the road.
Tupac, a Baltimore native.
Yes, he is.
Oh. So
you're gonna do your hot box? Okay.
Okay. So my buddy's dad worked in the movie industry back in the day, and they had kept a car that was like a 50s, like Chevy something or whatever, like baby blue, like robin's egg color or whatever. And
man, that's such a sweet color for the Bel Air.
Oh,
the Ford wife beater.
It was like this car was like used like in Scarface or in like some old 50 like representation of a 50s movie or something like that. And so that he kept it, and that was like it was in the garage. We weren't supposed to touch it. And one time it was me and a buddy who, it was neither of us that lived at the house. And we just like looked at it. We didn't say anything. And we just like checked to see if it was open. And it was one of those like just moments of nonverbal communication. And we just like got in and just lit the joint and started smoking and started hotboxing this car. And then like a third of the way into the joint just started laughing. Just laughing hysterically because we knew we were going to get in so much fucking trouble if we got caught. It was so funny. And we just started laughing our asses off.
Yeah, the hysterical laughing is, oh, God. Yeah, that's long gone. I missed that. That was the best part of getting high.
Yeah.
Oh, just vintage car. Fuck.
You just got to go somewhere that you absolutely know that you shouldn't be getting high and then get high. And that's what you'll get that feeling back.
Church.
Church, yeah. Find a church pew and box it. Like,
Idaho. Just real covertly smoke a joint in the back of the church. Well, I don't know.
We never really hotboxed it. Like, we did blunt rides, and depending on how many blunts we had, we did what's called the Glen 500, or 250 to Glen 500, basically like a Grand Prix style, whatever. And like obviously the 500 was the more blunts we had. And I remember we did a 500 one time, and I turned down this road, a road that I've driven down, I don't know, 100 times because I have friends live down that road. And the road, I looked at the road and it just went on. And it's not a long road, but it went on forever and ever. And I'm like, do we have enough gas to get back? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, this road is just, we've been on this road for too long. I'm like, we just turned it. And I was like, no, we did not just turn this road. We did not. And I was like, no, we've been on this road for too long. I was like, Justin, you good to drive? I'm like, I'm good, but as long as you got to tell me though, do we have enough gas? And they're like, no, we got plenty of gas. You got a full tank. I was like, I don't think we're gonna make it, guys. We're gonna have to walk back or something. And they're like, dude, you're not good to drive. And then like after he said that, I was like, we're at the red light. I'm like, oh, here we are. I was like, what do you know? So convinced that we were not gonna make it down this road. We were gonna run out of gas, but no, we made it just in time. Apparently, in my stone ass mind.
That just reminds me of Harold and Kumar, and that's my favorite part of Harold and Kumar. Comes like they smoke weed in the apartment and then they leave, and they're like 10 feet away from the door, and he's like, I forgot my cell phone. And they pause and they look back at the door, which is like 10 feet away.
So far.
And they're like, we've gone too and they're like, no, we've gone too far.
No, we can't
and
go
they
back
don't
now.
get it. And the whole movie is like everything would have been solved if they had a cell phone.
Right.
And
it's like that with Do Where's My Car? I was like, dude, we've walked too far. And then turn around, their house right behind them. Scary movie when he comes out. I was like, I don't get it why Bobby's always late. He's so close to school. And he comes out in a fucking trailer and he's on school property.
Well, what do you guys think? Should we push the Step Brothers thing off? It's not a pressing issue. I just always want to sandwich 2 sessions into one thing so that we have something to go off of. But frankly, this has been going fine. I'm inclined to just hit the intro and keep it all.
I've got a product review to give you here in a minute.
Oh, all right. Well, so
that,
you know what?
That can be in the second half or whatever.
Yeah,
I have a list to drop to. I have a list.
Perfect.
Another list. Wow.
Well, I'm fucking hitting it then.
And I got a bong rip to take, so
Freaks and geeks,
weed.
drinkers, thinkers, ramblers and gamblers, stoners and pet owners. Gather around. This is the Outsiders Social Club, where us misfits, miscreants, outcasts get together and ramble, palaver, prattle, and get royally intoxicated while we do so. So without further ado, let's proceed.
One for the party, baby. Puff on the road, drumming, knock back a drink. There's nobody home.
Hello and welcome back to the Outsider Social Club. I'm your master of ceremonies drinks with Ron, and I am fucking hammered already. So, that being said, the usual rules apply. You drink if you hear a dog or a cat or a bong. And 2.5, we're going to lower that to the 1.5 dogs since all these Teds seem to be shutting the fuck up tonight. That being said, we're going to send it to the godfather of drinks, Troy, Squirrely Dan's older brother. What do you have on deck for the drinking shenanigans this evening?
Ron, thanks for the time. Frankly, we feel like the rips have been taken off and beaten down the drinkers of late, so it seems like we need to up the alcohol over under to about a 6.5 for our session today.
Oh, no.
I'm going to do my best to represent the crowd as best we can. If you're not a participant, that's fine, but I'll be doing my best to go to work late tomorrow. Thanks for your time.
So that's a 9.5 total on the 2 episodes? Is that where we're sitting?
Bingo.
Oh, wow. That's good math. Hey, fucking A, man. Look at that.
Fucking Dan Aykroyd is going at it on the organ right here on Nothing But Trouble. What a great fucking
prosthetics.
Scene.
Yeah.
Those fucking prosthetics, man. What a great scene.
I said it, man. I wanted that played at my wedding. Tie the knot. Tie the knot. Fucking Humpty Hump. Come on, man.
That's what really turned me on to Humpty and Digital Underground.
Selena got to meet Shock G.
No way.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, back in the day before he passed away. And
I would hope before.
Well, yeah, I mean, she might be clairvoyant, but that's a whole other thing.
That's a different episode.
Point is, Selena's, she's petite. She's 5 feet, and she he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", I want to say.
Damn.
And so she tapped him, after a concert or something like that, and he turned around and was just looking, and then
I've seen a little person.
But yeah, apparently he was super genuine and very sincere and just super nice person. So
that's awesome.
Rest in peace, Shock motherfucking G.
Rest in power.
MC Blowfish. Never forget.
Underwater rhyme.
That's the jam right there, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Before we move into anything else, I got a good story about Digital Underground.
Yeah.
So this I used to go to Seattle. For some reason, I didn't get my license until I was 22, and so dealing drugs. It was like if I have a car, I'm more likely to get caught, right? And so I got stranded in Seattle one time, and I needed a ride back, so I hit up one of my buddies. I was like, "Yo, can you pick me up?" He lived in Lummi Island, which is north of Bellingham. But I was like, hey, could you pick me up from Seattle and drive me back to my apartment? And he was like, all right, but you got to find me a copy of Digital Underground's Sex Packets.
Oh, shit.
And it's like, you need to go find that and buy it. And by the time I get to Seattle, you better have it. And so I went to 5 record stores, finally found a copy of it, bought it. And then he picks me up, and it's him and two of his other buddies from Lummi Island, and they have the 3-foot bong in the car with them. And we just proceeded to just get super ripped bumping that album going back. And it was
all right. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
Oh man,
my name's Humpty. So
pronounced
I had,
with the umpty. Yeah.
My buddy,
like umpty,
pronounced with a umpty. My buddy did that in its entirety for a high school talent show.
That's killer.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a Step Brothers quote.
I mean, it's not quite as good as the Vanilla Ice and lip syncing.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Dude, the idea of Derek won because he lip synced Ice Ice Baby. He didn't even sing it. He didn't rap it. He just
right.
And then they go right to them. That's a great song. It is a great song.
It's a great song. Yes.
They actually at Cabaret this year at high school, they did a whole bit where the MCs between numbers did fucking Vanilla Ice. It was just
I'm gonna say it.
I had to golf clap it.
I'm gonna say it. People talk a lot of shit on the lip sync. And I get it, but the fact of the matter is Milli Vanilli was way ahead of their time. And people need to get on board with lip syncing. When it's done right is fucking supreme.
Well, that was the whole controversy of the 90s, was that all the big acts that were all dancey had to lip sync because otherwise they'd be breathing heavy and that'd be poor show quality. So to give the fans the best show, we just have to play a tape. And that became standard. Like Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl was a fucking tape.
No, I want right now I'm trying to find an artist who is going to be the image for I'm writing for the lyrics for this musician, theoretically performing the music, or the producer of the actual music is performing the lyrics as well. And then we want someone on stage who is not affiliated with the actual creative process of making the music, who just wants to be on stage.
Nice.
And so, it's like, why did people hate on Milli Vanilli? Dude, that shit was way ahead of its time. Steve Aoki, was he the one? The DJ that wasn't really a DJ?
I don't know.
He was just, that's a thing. That's a thing with a lot of DJs where they're pressing buttons. Yeah, he just
like, what is it even?
Ha 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 hallelujah.
I can't hear that song and not hear the hallelujah version.
I know, like as soon as I said, like, I should sing the real version. Let's sing the real version.
The other one's better. I mean, let's be real. But yeah, a lot of DJs will just go up there, look like they're touching pads and stuff when everything's just like,
that's all it is anymore. Mix. What's the difference? Yeah. Why do I need you to push a fucking button live?
Well,
you can push a button. Like, there's skill to scratching a record and getting it around. Like, just fucking play it and tell me you're playing it. I don't care anymore.
Well, a live mix is there is something that, like, a live mix can tap into energy that is similar to like a jam band or a funk band, like when they get into a groove or something like that. And so that's why the live is good. There you go. See, we're feeling it.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Point taken.
All you needed to do was take that and just chop the first, quarter of a second, put it on every 30-second note, and that's a bounce song. That's a New Orleans track right there.
Beer.
And it's just like one of those, Are you familiar with Big Frida?
No, I'm not familiar with her.
You should listen to some Big Frida sometime.
Okay.
One of my favorite things is and now my algorithm, because I've shared too many of them, is like DJs will be dropping anything before their beat, and it's Kamala Harris saying, "Don't come," and then it's Trump. I'm going to come. It's like, it's such a perfect drop.
Yeah.
I was like, it works so well.
Dude,
I saw sampling back in the day.
Did you guys see that David Guetta did a new remix?
Oh my god!
And used the Martin Luther King drop? Like, what fuck was that? I was like, how can you one up yourself?
He did it again.
Honestly, I love you, Hash, because I sent that to you on direct message, and you tweeted that within 30 seconds. I was like, this is going to annoy the shit out of Hash so bad.
Well,
I don't know you perfectly, but I do know that would annoy the shit out of you. And it was just like, this guy has a bit. He's going to run through every social like problem we have. Like it's quite
a duck.
It's a what?
Sorry, I heard a duck.
I heard a duck too.
It wasn't me.
I'm becoming quite the Foley artist.
All I know is that I had just talked about David Guetta and cringe musical moments with my buddy Fresh Kills, and then you sent me that like the next morning or something. So,
by the way, that was a 2-hour interview that didn't sound like 2 hours. It was such a great interview.
Thank you. Yeah,
although I do not agree with his Cinefuego cinnamon toast crunch, that those things are fucking awful.
Well, he said he said they were gross.
Okay.
He
said by themselves they're not bad. They're still awful because it's just the cinnamon. It's like 16 strips of Big Red on cinnamon toast.
I mean, I'll try. I'd try them if I saw them in a discount bin or something. But I just love the idea that he saw them, brought them back to the place, and then put them in a bowl and tried them with milk.
That was to be honest. That's the first thing I did. I put it in the bowl too. I was like, God damn it, this is disgusting. I threw the bowl out. I threw it out. I was like, I gave a spoon for my wife. She's like, ew. I was like, I can't finish this.
Spicy mayonnaise. Speaking of spicy, I am going to try this product live on air. This is extra hot flamin' Cheetos with 2 X's.
Well, can we stall that for a minute because I hate to do it, but
let the decree go forth. It is time to pee.
I'm literally gonna piss myself.
See, I see Troy did not get his Squirt T-shirt. He got a Sprite T-shirt instead.
On an audio format. Nobody gets the joke.
My squirt machine was broken.
Dried up.
I almost said get a new wife, but
wait, what?
You are in a 10-second delay every time you. It's so great. I love it.
I was muted. I was just like getting in there.
Just the way you guys. Wait, what? I'll never. Man, it's one of the funniest moments I've ever had in my life. Is you just coming out of that like he doesn't have a Pepsi machine. He has a squirt machine.
Well, I really appreciate all the love I've gotten from that. But I
actually fell out of his chair. I fell down. we were all gone.
I would say though that like one of the funny when you think back to that moment, like it's an incredible content like mixture blend of the fact that the whole thing started on your bedrooms, and then we went through your bedroom rankings. And then I go out and have a cigarette, and I come back, and you guys have just gone completely into the toilet.
Oh, you think?
Like,
thanks to Hashy. We didn't go into we went into the spank bank.
We went off into fucking glory, is what happened.
We did.
The glory hole. We went to the movie studio.
I don't know how. Again, to Ron's point, how we have talked about Tom Hanks for so much on this podcast and never once went into porn names is.
I feel like he's going to file a fucking restraining order. We better lay off the Hanks. It's gotten a little creepy.
I love the idea of like
it's a dog.
Frank.
It's a dog.
Like Ron has like 3 Scientology people show up to his door like at some point.
Is Tom Hanks a Scientologist?
Are you kidding me?
Tom Hanks?
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
That's a fine.
Wait, are you Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise confused over here?
He just Mr. Rogers, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I mean, we're not dealing in like truth anymore around here. So
I'm going to do drugs about it.
Tom Hanks in there also.
That's true. Goods really upped the ante.
Yeah, he
Goods is fucked with their heads
down. He's
on.
tripled and quadrupled down on this Rogers shenanigans.
Never mind. I can't tell you what my gameplay on this is, but the next time he goes deep into a movie thing, I'm going to legitimately find all the things wrong with this person. Like he loves. Oh wait, no. It's who loves Leo here. It was Hashy.
No. What? No. Good, you should
right?
just. Yikes! Don't come up with anything. Just make up something on the spot about it that sounds legitimate, and just and you have to be really sure about it. But you just pull something out of your ass and just be like, to
be fair, you don't have to make anything about Leo. Leo just loves younger women, so we that's Leo's thing.
Yeah, we've covered that ground already.
Well, so
I dissed Sia really bad in the last podcast, so I think I might keep going at that. I don't even know this dude, but
well, that might be the more direct way to get to Goods. I think you're right.
Might be the more direct way to get to him.
No, insult Jake Gyllenhaal. Start going after Jake.
Yes, go after Jake.
Because the thing is, the trolling Goods chat that we had is now worthless because Goods knows about it. We're actually better off to plan that right on the pod. He doesn't listen to that. So let's plan our trolling Goods right here so that he'll never hear it.
And then broadcast it.
Right. You'll never know. It's actually a safer spot.
Yeah.
I really want to know, what when Goods gets up and shaves in the morning, what his entire plan is.
Oh man!
Just saying, I've eaten chops like that for breakfast. I don't know what the hell that dude's doing. Is that an anti corporate capitalist? Look in Vegas, or what is he doing?
It's crypto Wall Street.
Good God! That guy's going out and changing crypto machines, looking like the fucking Wolverine.
He looks like Hugh Jackman. He does. He looks like a mixture of Hugh Jackman and the Josh Hartnett picture that was that Justin, was that you that sent that?
I sent that.
He looks like a dollar store Goods or whatever.
He does. Goods
exactly,
looks better.
Yeah.
That shit was funny. I was like, man, Josh Hartnett is
it's amazing.
It's how has he gotten more baby faced from being the baby faced kid from 22? Is he the clean shaven he's got going now? He's such a baby face because he's got he's got baby fat at 40 years old. He never had baby fat in his 20s, but he has baby fat now, and it's how's he more baby faced now than he was before?
Goods is the better looking of the two now.
Well, and the funny thing too is that didn't he reply with the fact that Josh Hartnett and him went to the same high school?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years apart.
Goods is the dollar store. Not only the dollar store Josh Hartnett, but the dollar
Josh Hartnett now is the dollar store Goods.
Exactly.
In high school, Goods was the dollar store Josh Hartnett. Now Josh Hartnett is the dollar store Goods. The roles are reversed.
I agree.
I would agree with that.
Don't let Goods hear this though.
Actually, I don't know. I've never seen Goods in high school, so I can't actually fully judge this.
Oh God, we should.
That's all right. It's on the pod. He'll never hear it.
A great pod episode would be us sharing our photos from high school and not sharing it with the
visual gag on audio.
Visual gag. But boy, I'm thinking there's going to be some serious heat going on in that one. So
visual gag on an audio format.
Takes him so long to find the buttons.
No, I have to reload the buttons because I've only got 8 of them. So I had recap on. Normally, it's supposed to be visual gag there.
Holy shit!
At the end of the episode, I rotate it to recap. But since we're at the end, I forgot to change it back, and it's a whole big thing. You'll have that. Drink number 7. I think Hashy must be taking the dog out because he left rather abruptly, and that's what that means. But I think upon his return, we will probably get this Flamin' Cheeto review.
I can't do the Flaming Cheetos. It wreaks havoc on me the next morning. Havoc.
And the Flaming Cheeto thing extremely hot, right? Like this isn't just kind of.
It's not that hot. Like there's a good flavor to it. Now there's spice to it, but man, it just whatever bioengineered chemicals that are in that product just really tear me up the next morning.
It's the nuclear red. It's the color that goes against God and nature. That color.
Well, I was telling my wife we came home. I meant to actually ask this question to THC. I went to the aquarium there with my kids, and we were coming home. We had to stop and pick something or take care of the kids for a second because like they ate their lunches in the car or whatever.
Right.
And we had
sons of bitches.
So I went to Royal Farms and I got a Mountain Dew, and I was like, Mountain Dew hits the spot every once in a while. It's because whatever that yellow dye is, they put whatever that flavor yellow dye is to get the color green yellow. It's like it hits a spot. Yeah. Whatever that syrup is, bring it on. That's what it is. For like the most part, Mountain Dew not so bad, but like when you get that code red, that red dye, whatever they did to those dyes, give it to me. Inject it in my veins.
It's all that cancer. That's what makes it taste so good.
I think that's why the squirt joke hits so hard, is that squirt is what tastes like squirt? Anything?
Pea.
Think of any? Huh?
I said pea.
Okay, I was thinking more like a beverage comparable, but
60-40 Fago.
Never drank piss. Apparently it's sterile. I don't know. It's good for you.
You heard it here first. Squirt is good for you.
No, he was talking about pee.
Oh.
Well, squirt is majority pee, according to sources. According to my sources.
My God, this podcast has gotten out of control.
I know. That's why I was like, let's scrap this fucking draft. It's not going to happen tonight.
Yeah.
I'm on drink 7. I've already on bong like 7. Started hitting the dab pen. I don't even fucking know anymore.
But, you're pacing yourself well for a good Monday morning at work, though.
Yes.
This movie is so underrated. I love it. Great cast, great humor. Now, problematic, yes, John Candy dressed up as a woman, sure, whatever. But man, this movie's fantastic.
What movie?
Nothing But Trouble.
John Candy's in that? I don't even remember that.
He's the cop who pulls over Chevy chasing them, but he's also the daughter or the granddaughter he marries.
Oh, yeah, I don't even remember
during the wedding that you're talking about that you wanted to have to dance to. That's who he marries in the scene.
I guess I was just hung up on Digital Underground. That was.
I mean, you've
been muted.
But more importantly than John Candy's movies, in honor of the new baseball season starting, I feel it's appropriate to go to that beat poet Jack Kerouac and provide us with a baseball haiku for the weekend.
And now, a half-assed podcast exclusive.
Poetry
Corner. Yeehaw!
And I quote, empty baseball field, a robin hops along the bench. Thank you for your time.
Did everyone leave again?
I just did a haiku, Hash, so they all left on me. They bailed on me.
Ah, what jerks. Was it about parades?
It was a baseball haiku.
Oh, well, then why did they leave? Well,
because I muted them all in the middle of a John Candy movie.
Ah. What assholes?
Well, I mean, I probably started it, but, we're all here. We're all here for the Flamin' Cheetos XXL.
Yeah, someone has to be.
I think they're good, frankly. But did you read about, was it in the height of the pandemic, some gamer in Japan actually died because all he ate was like some copious amount of those things and high amounts of caffeine in the form of either Red Bull and Mountain Dew or Red Bull and something else and died. And they tried to blame it on the Cheetos. And really, what it was, his heart exploded from the caffeine. Was my
and the cocaine, yeah.
Why would they try to blame it on the Cheetos?
Because they're gross, I think, is mainly.
That's who you sue.
And Red Bulls are so clean.
Caffeine industry.
Yeah, but there's like actual like studies on how Red Bull is actually super bad for you if you don't engage in physical activity after ingesting it. Like that's the whole thing about Red Bull is it's like designed to ingest and then burn off, and if you don't burn it off, it's actually super bad for you.
So, so you ingest it with a bunch of alcohol at the same time, so you're drunk and awake.
That's so bad. To use it? That's super bad for you. It's
like that's why I can't drink like Jaeger bombs anymore, or like I can't drink Red Bull, because even though I never had many Red Bull vodkas or I smell Red Bull and I instantly think of getting drunk, and it just makes me not like I never got sick off it either. It's just like I feel like I'm drinking. And like if I'm drinking a Red Bull at 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to feel like I'm drinking at 6 o'clock in the morning, because like I instantly smell it and like, oh, that's a bomb right there, and I can't do it.
So
it was never my drink of choice. That's all I associate with that smell is drinking, and I can't do it.
I can totally relate to that, because the only thing I can associate with that is throwing up really bad from drinking Red Bull vodkas. And this was, again, like Red Bull was a major marketing force within like extreme sports. I worked at this company called Spider Ski Company, which did the Olympic outfits.
Oh, yeah. Spider's good shit, man. That's a good product.
Yeah, it's good shit. Like this was back in 98, 99. And they were doing a lot of stuff, and Red Bull came on the scene. They did sponsorships. So we went to the ski and snowboard, what would it be, trade event that's in Las Vegas. And Red Bull was like in mass at like every party. You'd go out and you'd hang out with the athletes and stuff like that. And Red Bull vodkas were on tap one night at a place for everyone. And it literally destroyed the company. I bet. Everybody showed up the next day at the convention center and looked like they were zombies. Sick as hell. Yeah. I spent a good 3 to 4 hours in the bathroom the next morning, like drinking Red Bull the whole night with vodka was one of the worst things I've ever done to my body. Like
upper and a downer and that shit. My brother was so fucking geeked out on drinking those. He was at mom's one day, just fucking going a mile a minute, talking about shit. I'm like, dude, these Red Bulls, you can't be. That's not what it is. I'm like, dude, I'm on cocaine. You're running circles around me. So that shit's insane. It's like you'd put less chemicals in your body if you just did the cocaine. Like, I'd feel better if you would just drop the Red Bulls and do some blow. It's much safer.
And Hashy, off with your review. Clink on that bag.
But first, I have to issue a lobby complaint to the Human Resources Department.
You ready to tee up a poetry corner?
I was going to bitch about my last poetry corner. No one appreciated. So I don't know if you guys have earned another poem or not. Have you earned another poem yet, Justin?
Well, I heard it. I got it.
The problem
I'm probably the only one that did hear it, because I have the wireless headphones in. So
no, I heard it, but the file wasn't on the sound card, so I had to take it over to the laptop quick and try to get it back on the sound card before Troy finished, and I couldn't do that. So that being said,
and now a half-ass podcast exclusive
poetry
corner. Yeehaw!
Excellent. Thanks, Ron, for that great introduction. A second baseball haiku to celebrate the weekend, brought to you by that amazing poet from the 1940s, George Swede. And I quote, "Empty baseball field. A dandelion seed floats through the strike zone." Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. As you were, on to the Cheetos. Thank you, Yags. I appreciate you.
That has been Poetry Corner on the Outsider Social Club.
And Angel Hernandez calls it a ball.
He thinks it's a ball. Yeah, he thinks it's actual baseball. It's a dandelion frond.
And Angel Hernandez called it strike 3. That son of a bitch.
I would like to officially say that I am in the corner of Troy's poetry moment.
Troes. Well done.
Trogs?
Not to be outdone by Justin eating a word. You
Troy.
Just fucking took your title right back. Well done.
I think that's a beautiful moment. I think that if you can find more poems within 1 to 2 sentences about baseball,
haikus,
them on
perhaps
podcast, I would be forever indebted to you.
It's much like Mike Schur's 90s baseball names that make you smile. I can do haikus for days.
Yeah, but I think you just upped them. You did a 1940s poem. Well played, my friend.
And now, a half-ass podcast exclusive.
Poetry
Corner. Yeehaw!
I love hitting buttons.
That yeehaw really sounds like the voice from Club Dread. Bill Paxton in Club Dread.
That actually began as the banjo corner sounder, but now I just took out banjo and I reuse it for everything. So it's
I get that from the publication. I get it.
I can honestly say that nothing incites the idea more of poetry than the phrase "yeehaw."
Well, what would you think as it relates to a book review?
And now, a half-ass podcast exclusive.
Book report.
Corner. Yeehaw!
Thanks again, Ron. It just so happens I recently finished a book I'd like to share with the group.
No way.
How to Be Perfect by Mike Schur. Read with my own 2 eyes, not listened to with my own 2 ears. I feel pretty proud.
I agree. Well done.
Mr. Mike Schur might be good at making TV shows, and he might be good at thought games, and he might be good at baseball cards. Mr. Mike Schur is not the greatest author to ever write a book. I recently finished this book after trying for a long time, probably about 6 weeks or so, which is a long time for me to read a book. I'm a pretty quick reader. But he did a great job. I thought it was going to be a bit of a witticism book, perhaps a life story book, whatever else. But really, it was a book about finding his own personal philosophy in the world. And to do that, he went back to the beginning of time with philosophy and listed at least 15 different philosophers from the Greeks all the way through the modern era.
Seems a little excessive, but I'll allow it.
And from there, he then blended them together to make his own personal philosophy and encourages everyone to do the same. It was fastidiously booknoted and footnoted. There must have been 700 references in a 16-chapter book. It was absolutely amazing. And anytime I listen to Mike Schur now on the old Dan Le Batard show that I hear still exists,
you just want to punch his face?
I can hear his sincerity in the book that he wrote, and it makes you like the book more.
Right.
I think he's truly one of those humans on the planet who's sincerely living his truth every single day, and I'd like to have coffee with him, or maybe even dinner. So, Mike Schur, when you listen to this, let me know. I'd like to sit down and buy you dinner. Vegetarian dinner.
I think I really appreciate that. That's a great review.
That's what I appreciate about
I know Hashy is on deck. But I would say that we have now stumbled upon this philosophical argument once again, which is, we talked about it last time, not all of us, but the idea of creating your own God or your own belief system or things like that. I think this is a very interesting area.
Yeah.
I think Mike is talking in the same realms. Mike is talking in a realm that I feel like I've heard before, and I feel like it's the idea of that your existence is truly based on the idea of how you spiritually engage the world. Anyone?
I would agree. I think that there's a lot of, regardless of the rightness and wrongness of the end game, shall we say, I think it's great to put forth the effort somewhere along the way, whether it even be in the lizard brain or in the forefront cortex, like Schur did, and write a long book about it. So I agree. I think it's time well spent, at least sometime as an adult, to contemplate the bigger thing in the world.
It's a dangerous black hole, but it is good when used correctly.
Indeed. And now, straight from the Northwest, fresh off of Slurper Water, we have our own Hash with a food review.
Yeah, so we're going to, to the nostalgia pit. One of my favorite things was Cheetos Flamin' Hot. So I figured that we should try extra, extra hot. The black bag, I've seen it. And I was like, it says it's twice as hot, but is it really twice as hot? So there's only one way to find out, being drowned out by the chips. The Schofield test.
Oh, okay.
So before you get in this review, I feel like next time we should all be trying these foods.
You can blame Ron for starting this because he was the one that busted out the Funyun flavored Lay's Puffs once or
for an hour straight ASMR.
Totally not planned either. It was that was organic as fuck.
Time out.
Okay, so here's the thing about that. Okay. Like, I love the idea of, like, some background stuff going on. I don't need to listen to you fucking eating a bag of Funyuns.
Oh, I think you did. I think you did.
Like, you're an amazing person. But I really don't. We have to find a line here, right?
No, I think you needed to hear that.
Okay.
I think you're a better person today because you heard that.
I'm just saying that we're going to get caught in some serious subject and you're going to be back there munching on a bag of Frito Funyuns or whatever the fuck it is. And
if the pot has its way.
Oh, the next recording, I'm bringing something.
That or hitting a bong or...
this is not twice as hot. I'm calling bullshit right away. This is not twice as hot.
Fail on the
consternation. Wait, just let it compound a little bit. Sometimes it takes a minute. It just builds on itself.
If there's a 3X
let it breathe.
Fritos, Cheetos, do you get naked afterwards?
I was going to say that's porn. We can't do that. We're getting into Spanx territory. We're getting dong Spanx.
Not even double the red color, let alone double the heat.
No, this tastes just like they used to taste when I was a kid. I will say that is a nice size for a crunchy Cheeto.
It's a good one.
A lot of the time, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes you get the bag and they're all the tiny little, what is this?
Little nubs?
Crumbly little,
like the little thin ones.
Cheeto
it's like,
nubs.
Come on, what is this? All right.
Have you guys noticed, like, recently, I don't know, it's been a couple years too, but, like, a lot of people are doing the Flaming Hot Cheetos, like, crushed up in a burrito or whatever. It's a crust for something.
Yep.
Right.
It's insane. Like,
it's delicious.
What people were coming up with, like, food ideas. Like, let's crumble up some Flaming Hot Cheetos. It's basically this is a crust for something.
It's basically just a hot flavor powder that they can't get their hands on. So you just crush the Cheeto and cut out the middleman.
I mean, this is not twice as hot. It's a little hotter, maybe, but I don't think so.
Okay.
But overall flavor profile, what we're going for, is it good though?
I don't know. I'm going to do drugs about it.
I mean, I just said that, before that Flamin' Hot used to be one of my favorite. It tastes the same. So, it tastes like the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, standard, basic Flamin' Hot Cheeto. I don't taste really any difference.
Wangus. Pangus.
I'm waiting for a real spicy one. Ooh, this one looks good.
Maybe one covered in a whole lot of powder. Maybe get a real powdery one. Mm-hmm.
Now, don't go driving and tip the bag to your face now.
Cool. Off-road ranching.
That's such an awesome name, by the way. Cheers, you guys. Check out Nostalgia Pit. Good shit.
Okay, that one was good. I just got one that was hot.
So a little more powder on it? Is that what the deal is here? It just wasn't... You get a little extra powder?
No, I don't think it's more powder.
No?
But I finally... either the heat hit me or... But...
That's why we need a second person.
Have you guys had the Flamin' Hot Doritos?
No. I've had... By the way, the best flavor of Doritos is the spicy sweet chili.
Oh, really? I've never had that one.
Yes.
I enjoy that. The purple
I see it all
bags?
the time, and I've never. had
the purple bag. It's the best Dorito.
I'm gonna try it now.
Yeah.
If it's bad, I'm gonna be angry at you though. I'm gonna be angry.
Oh no, it's not. It's delicious.
I love them.
Welcome to America.
You get that first instant sweet from the and then the chili comes at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, I love it.
Yeah, that's what America tastes like.
Do that.